Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 2CTV with some breaking news from central London. Over the last few minutes we've been getting updates from Regent Street outside Hamleys, the toy store, where several controlled explosions have been carried out by the Metropolitan Police and counter-terrorism. There's a suspected attack, and we do have a statement from the Metropolitan Police which we're going to bring you guys, and of course we have some videos also coming in from London. We will keep you guys posted on everything else because obviously it's an ongoing development. Just another normal day in London, as Sadiq Khan would say. Unfortunately, we're kind of used to these sort of things. Although, I would like to give a big shout out to the good people who work for the intelligence services, including GCHQ and MI5, and counterterrorism in the Met as well. Because despite everything else that we say about the establishment and the police being woke, there is a reason we don't get constant and regular attacks in places like London, unlike other countries and cities like France and Germany. It's because these guys are doing their job every day without getting a thanks. Obviously, the political establishment making things harder for them by bringing in more people without vetting their backgrounds. Let's go to the first video we have from London, and then we're going to go to the statement from the police.
What's going on?
Yeah. You reckon someone just did that for a laugh?
Keep moving this side. No, it's not this side. No, this side. Keep moving this side.
What's going on? Why is everyone running?
No, someone just started screaming something and then a load of people started running this way.
Fuck yeah, now.
So we do have some more information for you guys. This was an abandoned and a suspicious vehicle outside the Hamleys toy store, where children with their families go to shop on Regent Street. Somebody clearly reported the car, and it is quite impressive because did the car look obviously suspicious? Because as you guys know, central London is fully packed. There's a lot of cars parked around, a lot of cars driving around, a lot of people. Even if you leave a bag next to the bin, it will still take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for someone to get actually suspicious. Someone just assume you just put it there, went somewhere. So we do need to find out more information about the car. But what we do know is that the police, the counter-terrorism at the Metropolitan Police, just to be sure, just to kind of keep safe, decided to carry out controlled explosions. That's why people panicked and started to run away. We do have the second video coming from Regent Street in London. Yeah, as you can see, the whole area has been cordoned off by the police, which obviously disrupts the shopping and everything else. But the safety of people is more important at this point. I think we can go to the Metropolitan Police and the statement that they have given us now, because yes, there we go. So the Metropolitan Police, the counter-terrorism side, said that the road closures are in place in the vicinity of Regent Street and the New Burlington Street while officers investigate the suspicious vehicle. Officers have carried out a number of controlled explosions as a precautionary measure. They have obviously said that they've been checking everything else in the area. It seems to be there's no other suspect or suspicious item in the area so far. But clearly it did look quite concerning that it required the bomb squad to be there. Obviously the control explosion has now been carried out, so it seems to be okay. But obviously the investigation will continue throughout the day to find out. They have to go through CCTV footage and everything else and the obviously registration for the car to find out who it was. Was it once again yet another mental health issue, or a very far-right explosion, as Sadiq Khan and Keir Starmer would call it, probably. Let's go to the next video that we have now received from central London. There you go.
I wish I brought my phone.
Yeah.
So that was the latest footage we had from Regent Street and the streets and roads around it on Oxford Street as well. The timing of it is interesting because of everything else, the heated debates right now in Parliament and across society in general in Britain, when it comes to obviously Islam, when it comes to Keir Starmer's leadership, when it comes to grooming gangs and everything else. And it is slightly concerning, as a lot of people would probably assume, oh, this is just distraction tactic, it's fake. Some people would say this could be an actual retaliation, an attack from the enemies of this country. It's highly unlikely that it's a far-right explosion. You never know these days, but they're going to blame it on everything else, obviously. I do wonder if anybody is right now in the live chat, if anybody has checked the mainstream media, can you confirm whether you are getting live reports from BBC News or Sky News? That would be amazing. I want to see if they have actually been covering this properly or not. Now, let's quickly get some reaction from you lovely people, especially if you're in London. Let me know if you're in the area. First super chat, was Sadiq Khan hiding in his bomb-proof car? There's a reason he's got a very strong and robust car. While he's telling everybody that, you know, diversity is our strength, he himself needs a lot of security. The Viking says, these far-right Buddhists need to stop this. Exactly. Far-right Buddhists. Luckily, there has not been any casualties or anybody injured. So, but that's the good news, I guess. I'm just also trying. If I look to the side, I'm just checking the live feed as well. If you get any more statements from the authorities apart from the Met. So far, we haven't heard anything from the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, or the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper. We don't really expect anything from the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, because he's busy washing his hair. Robert Mack, thank you for your comments, saying, has Keir Starmer got his far-right speech ready yet? You joke, but these days, yeah, they'll probably have to make a speech saying, society is divided, the far right is to be blamed. Chris confirms no news on mainstream media TV. That's interesting. Estella also says no news yet. It's okay. 2CTV and other new media independent outlets are here to give you guys the news before the mainstream media with full information. Lizzie says, diversity is our strength. Sadiq Khan told me so. I know. It's just a bit of a shame that he's very quiet so far. I mean, well, we'll give him a few hours because everything is bureaucratic, as you guys know, when it comes to British politics. They will have to rewrite the same brief and speech 15 million times with their political advisors and their lawyers. Cockney Charm says, my boy is visiting London today. I hope he's safe. Obviously, he's safe, hopefully. The problem is with London is that it's not really just about this attack, suspected attack. You have to always hope for people to be safe, because anything could happen in London, unfortunately. Hopefully he's all right. Tell him to watch his back. Anthony says, Anthony Manchester says, import the third world, become the third world. To obviously clarify, objectively, we don't actually know who is responsible for this, but generally speaking, we know most of the attacks. They tend not to be Anglo-Saxon, conservative-minded people. Now, we have Jane Baker saying, no doubt some real violence, but fake scare. Fear to control us. Regent Streets and Oxford Streets shopping is crap anyway. Only fits for morons. It is quite hell. The Oxford Street experience and Regent Street is quite hell. And that, imagine that during Christmas period. And well, now we got the January sale, so it's only Wednesday. Karen says, what is going on there? Okay, Karen says 750,000 discount now. Oh yes, we have reached 750,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, to celebrate this, yes, Karen, we are doing a discount. We are doing a 50% discount for 2CTV Plus annual memberships. If you use the promo code WIN50, go on 2c.tv. The link is also in the description. Now let's get back on to the main topic. There's a super chat from DJ Hertz saying, diversity is our strength. Is it though, right? Zach says, I worked on the underground in the late 80s and 90s, had a few times with bomb scares. Well, that was the IRA days, isn't it? Yeah. Thought that this was all over and done with, so here we go again. Unfortunately, no, it's completely escalated. And the interesting thing about this is that for those who remember in the 80s and 90s with the IRA attacks, there wasn't much political correctness back then. So the authorities will talk about it, and obviously everybody could complain about the Irish nationalists and all that. But these days, they don't really want you to talk about it. They don't really want you to even ask questions. Isn't it? It's not really, even if you ask questions, they say it's speculation and it's hate speech and everything else. Even though I believe that the current threat that we have to the West is more dangerous and imminent than the clashes between the British state and the Irish side. This is on a whole new level because we're getting attacked from all sides, and it's not really just one fundamental debate like what happened with the Republic of Ireland and obviously the late 20th century with the IRA side in Northern Ireland. Smart says, no news on GB News either. The thing about the mainstream media is they have to go through the vetting. They have to have meetings with their lawyers, with their producers and everybody else. Obviously, luckily we have our sources which will help, and obviously the verified accounts on social media as well. And when you already have the evidence and you have the statement from the Met Police to clarify the actual truth about the story, so I don't understand why the mainstream media are so slow when it comes to reporting. Viking says, was the car far right as well? It was definitely a far right car. Far right car. Right. No, not strength. Oh, stench. Oh, you did say stench. Yeah, sorry. It says diversities are stench. I read it wrong. That was my fault. You don't have to send a second super chat. Actually, that's the only way I could see it, unfortunately. Otherwise, your comment would be lost in the middle of all the comments. When I see you, I'll buy you a pint, DJ Hertz. Mark Gardner says, diversity is our strength. Woke Marxist diversity is our destruction. Know the difference. Diversity is definitely not our strength. No. Unity is our strength. That's the whole point. You need to promote one set of values and common culture. You can't go around having different sort of mentalities and values, or lack of values at times. It doesn't really work. The only thing that you can actually use the concept of diversity for is the diversity of thought, which would actually improve free speech. But they don't really want that. You know, when they talk about diversity, they're talking about identity politics and your identity as a person. It doesn't really help. You do require unity over division. Now, somebody said about the 70s and 80s. Marx says there was no political correctness back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Terrorists were terrorists. End of. Simple. Exactly. Nowadays, you have to look after the well-being of the terrorists as well. You can't be too mean to them. Super chat saying, you Brits ready to be rescued? Yeah. Trump, liberate the United Kingdom. To be fair, Trump's expansion plans it is actually expanding. First Canada, now Mexico and Greenland. So if you come slightly to the towards the east, the UK could be part of the US. I do love how people get offended because of jokes. Also, it's only semi-jokey because he's serious about Greenland, and people in Greenland are serious about it as well. With Canada, I know exactly what he's doing because he's simply trying to push for a better agreement and deal once the Conservatives are back in power. Stephen Hart says there are too many converts now who can carry out these attacks. That is a big issue. I said this recently. What you should be worried about, just like the recent attacker that we had. Was it in Europe or United States? In Europe, converts. Always be careful about converts, because when it comes to Islamism, the actual political ideology of Islam, those who are born into it, it's not really your fault. You can't control that. You're born into an Islamic family in the Arab world or in Pakistan, wherever you are. You can't really choose where you're born. So a lot of them, obviously, eventually, if you have good education and prosperity, they become more middle class, and they might still have backwards views. For example, when it comes to gay rights and women's rights, but they tend not to start killing people. But what you need to be worried about is that, because those people who are born into it, they can read the book, and some of them will actually become ex-Muslims or convert to Christianity or whatever. But the convert, adults in the Western world, you're an adult human being, and you read the book, you read it yourself, and you still decide to convert, that is concerning. It's absolutely worrying. So if you actually read the book, you're going to agree with every single word, so you convert. The intelligence services must have an eye on the converts. Not in an aggressive way, just keep an eye on them. And perhaps question why. What was so attractive about this ideology for you to join? Another super chat saying, did these cars have MOT issue? We don't know exactly, really. We will. The problem is with the police is that the statement we showed you, they didn't really clarify whether they're going to be updating us later today or tomorrow about their investigation. I'm sure they're going to give us some sort of statement, but I don't know how detailed that's going to be. I'm still going to be chasing it up. Obviously, I'll get 2CTV team to chase up with the police and ask them what the situation is, if they're going to give us any statement as media or not. Let's get a couple of more reactions. I'm just going to check to see if we have any more updates on this weird issue, Regent Street. I'll get some more reaction from you guys as well. So the roads are still closed. They are opening up some of the side roads, which is good. So that's good news. And the suspected bomb threat will be investigated. So that's the latest on that front. Mark says, well done, Sadiq Khan, on your knighthood. You've certainly made a good job of safety and integration. Promotions these days is simply for failed politicians. It's the same that I always say about failed politicians who get promoted to the United Nations, or in Europe they get promoted to the European Union, European Commission, and that's basically the case. If you see anybody at the top of the diplomatic tree, it's basically because they've been failed politicians in their own countries. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this was your latest breaking news from central London. A suspected attack, a controlled explosions by the Metropolitan Police, and the investigation will continue. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.